It's Superbooth here in Berlin, and we're still at the Novation booth, and I'm standing with Chris right now. Hi Chris, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine as always.
Cool.
I've seen this little machine and I thought, what's this? It's a circuit, or is it a base station, or is it both, or
yeah,
what is it? Tell us.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, basically it is both of those things put
So
together.
right in a way.
Yeah, absolutely, completely. It's an analog synth, which we've taken elements from the base station. We've got base station filter, we've got oscillators as well from base station. All of that side, if you like, up here is a true analog synthesizer. But this side is a circuit. So we have all the sequencing capabilities and power of the sequencing built into the instrument as well. And that makes for a very interesting proposition, a very interesting device, because you know it's a traditional subtractive analog synth here, but we've got the sequence, so the combination of the two make it do some very unusual but fantastic and I would say quite original things. So yeah, so I mean, to take you through, I'm just going to clear off a session here. So we'll go from scratch. So just go to my note page. If you're familiar with circuit, you'll be familiar with this sort of page. Here I have a scale, and if I want to change that scale, I have a scales button here, and I have all of the different scales. Yeah, exactly. So we'll go back to, well, we'll go to a chromatic. I quite like the chromatic one. So yeah, oscillator 1 here. We have our usual oscillator types: square, sine, triangle, sawtooth. On the square, of course, we have the pulse width as well. So you know, the usual sort of things, the things that you see all the time. And we have two oscillators. So even though this is a monophonic synth, it has a single filter, it has a single amplifier, we have two oscillators. So we thought, well, what happens if we want to separate those oscillators out and give them each their own independent sequencer track? So, okay, we have a mono synth, but actually we can create some paraphonic behavior with this. And that makes it a very interesting, an interesting system to work with. So I'll just put some steps in here. So actually, I'll go down an octave. Why not? Octave down. There we go. Yeah. So I've just created this very basic sequence. Let's just hit play. Now at the moment, obviously, we're just hearing the envelope sort of fully open, so we're not getting any of the kind of spiky amplifier sort of control, but no, we just bring that down. So there we go, we have a nice sequence there, but whilst we've got the sequencer running, I might as well show you, we have a new feature called Mutate. Now Mutate basically is going to take all of these steps and just put them into a new randomly mutated order. So we can use this to sort of generate new little patterns.
So it keeps the basic tones and mixes them
it's
to
just gonna,
different...
At the moment, it's just going to change all of the pattern sort of steps. So that's quite a nice thing.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, I'm going to use the clear button. I'm going to take some steps out just to make it a bit more kind of rhythmic. Okay, so let's go into oscillator 2 now. And here we can hear oscillator 2 there. If I switch to oscillator 2, I can use the control there to get a nice kind of chorusy sort of, you know, detuned sound. Maybe change to a square. Change the pulse width on that one, which is nice. But maybe you can see I have no steps here on the second oscillator. So let me just put some extra steps in. So.
Sounds a bit like a Game Boy, actually.
Well, at this point, yeah.
Right now,
with the pulse width and the pulse width, I guess, and all that sort of thing. Open filter. You can hear now if I just open. So if you open the amplifier, you can hear there that we've got the different oscillators interacting. If I put it into paraphonic mode now, that means now oscillator 2 is also going to trigger the envelope. So we've got both oscillators triggering the envelope independently at this point. So this is kind of like, well, this is paraphonic, but it's still using the same envelope, same amplifier and same filter. This is a nice feature up here, the modulation matrix as well. And this, you know, if you sort of look at the top panel, you could be forgiven for thinking this. Okay, this is quite a basic sort of analog sort of mono layout. Twin oscillator, sub oscillator, noise, ring modulation, that sort of thing. Single envelope here and filter and LFO. But the modulation matrix opens up a lot of possibilities here as well. So I have 4 sources. My envelope, LFO, the modulation sequence, which I'll come to in a little bit, and my velocity values as well. If I go to the envelope here, now I can assign the envelope to pitch, pulse width modulation, amplifier, filter, distortion, which is very nice indeed, as we'll find in a bit, as well. Also, the auxiliary CV. Now, if I spin this round so you can see it.
Wow.
On the connection, connections on the back.
Lots of connections there.
Indeed. So we have line outs, audio input to fire audio through it. We have MIDI in, out and through. So this could sit wherever you want it in your MIDI chain, of course. We've now got through on this particular dice. Obviously all mini jacks as well. I don't know if you can notice here, I've got a little stereo mini jack here. You can use the adapter to go to 5-pin, but in this instance I'm just connected to my circuit here with just a stereo mini jack connection.
Yeah, of course. You don't need...
Yeah. Anyway, clock in and outs. So we've got that, we can sync to external clock or we can send clock. And then we have CV gate and, as I mentioned before on our mod matrix, auxiliary CV. So I could connect
and USB, as I just
yes, of course, of course. Sorry, the USB there for MIDI as well.
And probably for lots of updates that will come. I mean, you did. You have a really great update policy with the circuit.
It's interesting, and thank you very much for that, because it's a thing that we decided to do with Circuit, and it's made Circuit really the box it is today. I think the fact that we initially released it, I guess we could have said, okay, Circuit is what it is, but instead people were asking us for things. Cool, could it do this? Could it do that? It's like, well, it probably could. We just have to figure out the right way to allow our users to be able to do it properly and without, make it a nice experience for them. And I think, we've set a kind of a nice little precedent there with Circuit. So, yeah, I'm sure if you, I can't say for definite at this stage, but I'm pretty certain that we will start to see, sort of nice love, a lot of love shown for this over its lifetime as well.
Okay.
Another thing as well, I should say that Circuit itself here, we've not finished with this little box. This is a fantastic little thing. The monostation, I think, surprised a few people. Perhaps they were expecting a different type of circuit than we've come with, but this isn't going to take over from anything else. This is just really an additional circuit device to give you a different flavour, but with still using that circuit sequence. I should show you a couple of the other things that I really like about this as well.
First of all, I like the colours of the LEDs. Actually, quite nice colours.
Well, one thing I've not shown you actually just yet. If I just start it off again, I can actually record and automate all of the pops on the top here. So.
Oh yeah.
So you can see these nice little pots here flashing, and that's obviously telling me I've got automation on there as well, which is it's nice. And all of the pots here, all of the pots there can be automated, including the envelope controls as well, which is kind of nice. So anyway, but what I was going to show you, I'll just clear that automation while I'm at it. Okay, so get that down, open that up a bit. Oscillator 1 down, I think. Okay, and then audio in.
Yes.
So we have the audio input here, and that audio input is then running through the filter, the drive feeding the filter, obviously the filter and the resonant point, and then the distortion after the filter. And I have here on my circuit a little sequence that's firing in through my Claret interface here. I've set that up so this is kind of like an auxiliary effect. So if I just bring this up, so we can actually hear circuit in its normal state, because I don't have the ability to turn that off in this setup, but so now the audio in here is actually being, is opening and closing filter, distortions, and it's affecting the audio signal here from circuit, this very basic beat. So if I change it to a different rhythm, you see. So it's a really nice thing, and of course we've got the automation there as well. So
just yeah,
mesmerizing.
little fun boxes actually.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it looks pretty finished, if you ask me.
Well,
when will it be there?
Fantastic. Well, I mean, you know, I'm really pleased you've said that, because actually this is we've still got a way to go with this.
Yeah.
I think, you know, there's a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of additional functionality that's going to be added to it. You're right. I mean, it's mostly there, but we will see this mid-June. Is what we're expecting to be in stores. It's going to be $499, that sort of price. And as I say, you know, it's a great little self-contained synthesizer, but also a fantastic audio processor for external stuff as well. And also, a couple of things people have been asking about is, well, we have MIDI out on here, so we can sequence external stuff. We will be able to choose MIDI channel on that. That's something that we can't do on circuit itself, but we'll be able to choose the MIDI channel, and you know, yeah, it's going to be a really nice piece. And in fact, I've said to a couple of people today, but this combo, this trio of products here is it's a new power combo from Novation, and it's actually a very powerful system. You can do a lot with this. Yeah.
So, and when it's available, where do you get it?
Of course, it's musicstore.de, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, keep your eye on this.